Welcome to SchezzWho, Hampton Road's top spot for politics. The show is ever growing. That's because of your views, your likes, your comments, and your subscriptions. Keep this momentum going. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, provide comments, all the good stuff. Each SchezzWho production is brought to you by great folks. Andrea, my love wife, first of all, tune in to the Black Swan Chronicles for her latest shows. Her and I are in the midst of also creating some merch related to Sue and the Black Swan Chronicles, so look out for them too. Ellen's Homestyle and Barbecue, Positive Vibes Consulting, Farley Perkins Agency, and the LG Sweet Boutique are important businesses to me, so I want to shout them out. Ellen cooks great food at her locations near Regent University in Virginia Beach and Victory Crossing in Portsmouth Boulevard. Seiko Varner helps you financially and entertainment-wise at Positive Vibes Incorporated. Call us 757-932-0177. Farley Perkins helps you with important insurance needs. Call 757-271-6655. And great ice cream and shakes are at ELG Sweet Boutique at 340 High Street in Portsmouth. Now tonight I want to talk about FEMA. I know last night focused on the scandal relating to the Trump team's incompetence on national security. It's only gotten worse for them since, with the Atlantic releasing the full transcript, and yes, there were bits of information which would be classified. So the White House press, the White House teams, they continue to lie about it, and calls to resign are growing for those officials. And the organization, American Oversight, is suing the members of that chat in federal court. And in the midst of all that, it's important to note, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was briefly in the news this week about FEMA. First, she publicly said, we're going to eliminate FEMA. And it's hard to fully grasp how bad this is getting on a federal level, but things like that really highlight it. Do you remember the stories of Red Lobster and how it was tied to private equity, buying it and placing leadership with people who had no knowledge of the industry, charging its own restaurants rent, and making them go out of business? Same thing happened to Hooters. Well, what Trump, Musk, Doge, and others have been doing is essentially a private equity takeover of the government. They immediately slash and burn employees and whole departments. Now we see FEMA's on the chopping block a week or so after the Department of Education was put on the chopping block. As we speak, over $100 billion in funds and grants and disaster assistance sit frozen due to Trump, not used to prepare for the 2025 disasters or recover from the 2024 disasters. So it's important to remember the role of FEMA. FEMA helps Americans prepare for, protect against, respond to, recover from, and mitigate all hazards after coordinating federal disaster responses, as well as providing federal assistance and services to peoples and communities affected by disasters like fires, hurricanes, tornadoes, etc. One of the better possible examples of providing for the general welfare is, of course, right there with FEMA. But then again, Republicans don't like government. They like business. It's why the heroes for them are rich robber barons. That's why government gets reduced to scraps. In a meeting Tuesday, Noem said she wants to eliminate FEMA's funding of long-term rebuilding efforts and halt billions of dollars in grants that contribute to communities prepping for disasters. Spokespersons did what they typically do, saying that these are efforts to eliminate waste and fraud and abuse. They want to sell you on the idea of destroying a government program as needed as FEMA by saying it's fraudulent and abusive, because you won't buy the fact they simply don't like government spending. And if they had the ability, we'd simply not have nice things. People need to understand something isn't fraudulent just because it is a federal government expenditure. Something isn't a waste simply because it's federal expenditure. They sat and said it is stuff like that to make you not trust it and to not like it, to accept that they're just going to slash the place. That's why they do that. And then the phonies will just redesign the remnants of it and say they're giving money to the states. It's like taking a body of water called Gulf of Mexico for centuries and calling it Gulf of America. It's just trying to make it theirs. This is why we need more Americans like yourself, hopefully, providing counters to these narratives and investing energy in new candidates to replace those in power right now. I like the idea of a left-wing Tea Party, like the 2018 Justice Democrats, the ones that brought us Ayanna Pressley, who is calling for figures in the Trump administration to resign now over this Textgate fiasco, and of course AOC. Bring stuff like that to the forefront and bring some revitalized new members joining in and some more grassroots support. We're going to need all that, and we're going to need you just like we need you here watching SchezzWho.